Hopefully you guessed or maybe found by experience like me that none of these pilots are good options. Each one will miserably fail you in the end. But the good news is that there is one pilot who is worth putting your trust in. He guarantees some turbulence, but he took care of the root of all turbulence by sacrificing his only son for you. Like Carrie talked about, maybe you need to take that first step and put your trust in him for your salvation. And if you have questions about that, I'd love to talk with you or anyone in this group, I'm sure. Or maybe you've already made that step. You know that you're going to land safely, but at times it seems like the plane is just on fire and nosediving. Even though I know who to trust in, fear gets the best of me, especially in the last few weeks. But God provides for us in this too. He's given us His Spirit to help us and the testimony of His faithfulness to His people in His Word. Let's just look at a few of the circumstances God's people found themselves in. Right off the bat, Adam and Eve brought sin into the world, causing all of creation and the rest of mankind to be cursed and separated from God. If the plane was ever on fire, it's at this moment. But God closed them and made a way for people to be reconciled with Him by the blood of His Son. Abraham left everything he knew and headed out to, well, only God knew where, to start a family at an age that could only be explained as only God knew how, to bless the world in ways that Abraham could never imagine. Joseph was ridiculed, betrayed, sold, forgotten, enslaved, but God was with him and raised him up to save many. Moses should have been killed at birth, but God used him to lead His people out of slavery. Mary was a pregnant virgin. I'm guessing that was a difficult situation to explain to her friends, but God used her to carry in the Savior of the world. I could go on and on and on, and we could flesh out even more disastrous situations where the characters of the story had just a very limited perspective like we do. But do you see God's faithfulness? Do you see it in your own life? Do you see it in the midst of coronavirus? He has never left His people. He's always there providing for them and making a way through the turbulence that was caused by the sin of others, the curse of sin in nature, or even the person's own sin, their own mess. Even when we don't see it or feel it, God is at work.